Hi, everybody. It's great to have you back with us for our next episode. This is Aryeh Eisenberg from Edu-Together, and it is my pleasure today to be able to welcome not just one special guest, but we have two special guests for today's podcast episode. First, I want to welcome Nmeamaka Ezukwu. Did I say that right, Nmeamaka? Did I
I
get it?
think so, yes.
Okay. And Nmeamaka wears two hats. She is the regional director of Nova Learning in Johannesburg, South Africa, and also the co-founder of a really fantastic new project that's going on that we're going to find more about called Mobile Learning. And Nmeamaka, it's great to have you with us. And thank you so much for being here. And I want to also introduce Dr. Kendra Rickerby, who also, Kendra, I think you wear two hats as well, like many of us. Kendra is the head of school of the Compass School and located in Vermont, and also the co-founder of Mobile Learning. So Kendra and Nmeamaka, thank you so much for being here today and taking some time to talk about your many exciting new projects. It's great to have you.
Thanks
Pleasure
a
being
lot, Aye.
You know, I think between the two of you, with all the great things that it sounds like you're doing, we could probably have a podcast episode that goes like 7 or 8 hours long. There's a lot to talk about, but I really want to talk today about some of the exciting new projects that you're both involved with. So, Namaka, I'm going to start with you. Maybe if you could just give us a little bit of information on your background, tell us a little bit about yourself, and also introduce us just a little bit to mobile learning and what that is.
Absolutely. Thanks, Aye. So Nmeamaka Ezukwu here, an educator with a few years in the field, a few decades, I should say, in the field. I'm currently, like you said, I am a regional director for Nova Pioneer Schools for Leaders and Innovators here in South Africa. And Kendra and I are co-founders of Mobile Learning. And I know we're going to get into the details of it, but part of what drives what we're trying to do at Mobile Learning is just understanding that there is a lot that pulls students away from the regular everyday classrooms. And then there are also a lot of students for whom the traditional classroom just does not work. And so
Very true.
we're really giving some thought to how we can serve this population of individuals by leveraging interactions within the community, but more about that. My background, actually, like a lot of educators, didn't start off thinking I would be in the field. But I have,
Join the club. It's okay.
I
It
know,
happens to
like
all of us,
it
right?
is pretty, yeah, it is pretty commonplace that we all felt, no, I'm not going to be a teacher. And now I can't imagine myself having done anything else. But I'm Nigerian, so my education started off in Nigeria. And then I moved over to the States, did my master's there, worked for a bit at the Brook Charter School, and then moved here to South Africa to join Nova Pioneer Schools about 8 years ago.
Wow, that you took the scenic route to get to get around. You started in Nigeria, came to the States, back to South Africa. That's really amazing. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're doing some really important work, and I'm really excited to find out more about mobile learning. Kendra, I wanna bring it back to you. See, this is not often. Usually, when I do these interviews, I get to talk to one person, and I'm really enjoying having two special guests today. So this is great. So Kendra, it's great to have you on. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you're doing.
Sure. Thank you. And thank you for accommodating both of us today,
My
Ari, because
pleasure.
I know we met when you reached out to me in my role as head of school at the Compass School in Westminster, Vermont, which is a 7th through 12th grade independent school serving a community of neurodiverse students. We're about 65 kids and looking to grow. Mobile learning and my involvement in it came to be many years before I assumed the role at Compass School. And when I met Nmeamaka through some volunteer work that I was doing with a mutual colleague, we were affiliated with EdVigor, which
Mhm.
Nmeamaka, you may explain EdVigor a little bit better since you were the founder of that. But I set out, gosh, I can't believe it, 34 years ago as a college freshman at the University of Vermont to be a major in secondary
Wow.
education, and had many crossroads where I didn't think I would stay with the profession, and I continue to do so, just because I really believe that that our schools are the bedrock to our democracy, and it's the change I've wanted to see. So I did my doctorate. I've done most of my teaching has been in Vermont as a classroom teacher, but then I spread my wings and moved to Boston to pursue a doctorate degree, and at that time work in a charter school because I had read that charter school systems were going to be labs of innovation. My experience proved that slightly wrong, which is where
Live and learn, as they say, right?
yeah. Yeah, so meeting Namaka, we've come up with this idea for mobile learning, and we meet regularly, and it's really the culmination of our careers, my career in public schools, a charter school in Boston, and now an independent school in Vermont, um, mobile learning and leveraging the technology to create flexible scheduling and anytime, anywhere education. I see it as the solution to a variety of our systemic challenges in the US.
Wow.
Can say that I am a career educator in the United States school system.
Wow. I think what's so amazing about hearing you both give your backgrounds is this is really what I would call 21st century education. We have a seasoned educational professional from the United States embarking on this amazing project with another seasoned educational professional in Africa, and bringing your expertise together and bringing your experiences together to really be able to create a solution for some of the most common educational issues and challenges that we're all facing. And that's really, I think, something that you should both be proud of, number one, because even though we have all this technology at our disposal, it's not something that necessarily happens easily. And, I know you're both on different time zones and different work schedules. I'm curious, like, I'll let you decide together who's going to answer this question, but how do you both figure out times to get this all done and to accomplish so many great things, even though you're so busy with daily life and so many responsibilities?
I can take that. I think it is challenging, and it definitely calls on a lot of commitment on both our parts. I think we, like Kendra mentioned, we started working together many years ago. You might not believe this, but Kendra and I have actually never met in person, and we can't
Wow.
believe
I,
it
I was gonna
ourselves
ask I
either.
was gonna ask that
No,
question,
we
but
actually
but
have
but
never met in person.
and
There's a
Uh,
trip in my horizon. I'm coming to see you.
yeah, it's
so maybe there's a middle ground that maybe there's a middle point
So
where you could
Kendra,
both.
Kendra is going to be coming to South Africa soon. Like
Oh yeah, okay.
we've got to make that happen. But we started working together on a nonprofit I founded about 8 years ago, 9 years ago at Vigor. At Vigor does some work with teachers in Nigeria, and Kendra
Hmm.
started volunteering for Ed Vigor. I think it was in 2019, 18, if I'm right. And was part of the curriculum team developing some really great curriculum for for teacher training in Nigeria.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
then, COVID hit, and that sort of like put a bit of a halt to what we could do. But we already had this great team with great ideas, and we kind of pivoted and started thinking about a few other things. And it was from all those ideation sessions that mobile learning actually came about. And so we found we already had a bit of a rhythm because we had been working together, but we always find a time that it's morning in the States, like on the East Coast, and then it's sort of like early, late evening, late afternoon here for me, mid-morning, early, mid-afternoon, and we make that work. But I think the
Incredible.
what drives us really is our commitment to the work we're doing and the value we see, the potential value it could add to millions of children's lives. And that, there are times when we've got to take breaks because there's a lot going on for us, but it always brings us back together because we really are committed to being able to provide this platform that would add value to
Wow.
many families and children's lives here.
So Kendra, I have to know honestly, have you ever a little mistake and called Namaka at like 2 in the morning, like uh-oh, like I messed up.
Well, it's it's interesting the way I've never done that via Zoom or a phone call, but I have sent texts at like 9 p.m. that I'm like, oh wait, that would be 2 in the
Oh, that's
morning.
fine. I read it when I wake up and
There
respond
we
and you're
go.
still asleep.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I hope it doesn't make the dresser because sometimes you can hear the buzz even if it's on
Yeah, yeah,
silent.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
That's
no, we
funny.
strike a real routine. I mean, part of it's the ability to compartmentalize. Like our Monday through Friday
Sure.
jobs are all consuming. So for me, the commitment to mobile learning and working with Namaka, sometimes we'll slip in a meeting on a Friday morning, Namaka's Friday evening, but it tends to be a weekend. Um,
Gotcha.
we try to avoid Sundays because, Sunday night would be my Sunday morning, and that's
Right.
Namaka's time to get ready for the work week.
Yeah.
But we've struck the cadence. I mean, we've really met once a month or 2 or 3 times a month for the past 4 years, but at
That's
least
Yeah.
once a month.
that- that's incredible.
I
Really,
think something else I would like to add that is also helpful is
yeah.
that we do get along, like we like ourselves.
Well,
So
that's important. It'd
it
be a
helps a
little bit.
lot.
It's always a little bit. I think we've all worked with people who we rather not get, not necessarily be working with, and it's never an easy thing. We do it professionally because we have to, but it is. I can tell that you both get along with each other just from watching you, and
Do.
I'm amazed that you've never met because it really seems like as you kind of, go, answer each other and fill
Mhm.
in each other's sentences, it seems like you've really developed a great relationship, which is a testament to
Yeah.
both you guys both and also to the amazing technology which we have at our disposal now. Whether
Yeah.
it be Zoom or Google or whatever you're both using. So that's I think that's incredible. Kendra, we've had a chance to work together a little bit this year through Edu-Together. Our organization has been working with the Compass School to provide some classes, and I can really tell from my experiences the level of commitment, the level of excellence that you bring to education on a daily basis. So I can only imagine how that translates into this new project. I'm wondering if you could just give us a little bit of an overview as to what mobile learning is and what the how it works and what you're looking to create.
Sure. I mean, my perspective of what we're looking to create really stems from working in a rural community in southern Vermont, where students do not have a ton of access to diversity and different perspectives and ethnicities that are the norm in other communities. And so that's where sort of the spirit of how Namaka and I have come to meet is the spirit of meet and develop our working relationship. The future of education and workforce skills requires students to be comfortable with that. Similarly, I live in a community that was flooded I mean, devastated with floods a little over a year ago, and there's weather patterns that are affecting everyone all over the
Mm,
globe. And so mobile learning is building a humane ecosystem to help families across the globe navigate transitions in their lives that interrupt children's access to education. More and more I get the phone call that the driveway's washed out, can't get there.
wow.
Well, we need to leverage technology the way we are now to make sure kids can access um, on-demand live streaming and then plan for in-person instruction. And so what we're providing is a holistically designed educational experiences anytime, anywhere, minimizing the disruption to a child's academic development, no matter where they're living or where they need to go as a result of an aging grandparent. Okay, got to get to Florida, help them out. Oh, wait, you're going to be perceived as truant. That's what we want to disrupt. We want that
Hmm.
dashboard um, of learning, and families then control the when, where, and how a student accesses the curriculum through that scheduler.
Wow. So it sounds like the goal really is to have just a full library or full access to all different types of educational materials. Do you guys envision videos or hands-on activities? When it's all said and done in your dreams, what does this all include? Because the idea sounds incredible.
Well, it's it's more than videos. It's really about creating a dashboard of activities that links to an
Hmm.
app and making the place-based connections so that, for instance, I'm in rural Vermont, but the local libraries were all built by Andrew Carnegie's philanthropy over 100 years ago. And so you can have an activity that you say, walk 500 yards and find the plaque that says X, Y, and Z. Who's Andrew Carnegie and why did he then invest and build public libraries all across the United States? And that becomes, the 60 minutes that it takes for a student to do that activity. The algorithm on the backside of the dashboard calculates the time on task so it can be bundled into other aspects of a social studies curriculum that links. So the key piece to the place-based connection is that all the standards are bundled. So it's an interdisciplinary approach to get
Wow.
kids into the community. A piece of that may be a 15-minute TED Talk on something that's relevant to that topic,
Okay.
or video explaining how the rain eroded the bricks on those libraries. That kind of curriculum and instructional design is a key piece to sort of the behind the scenes work, to
Uh,
make that.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and as an online educator myself, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I'm curious, and Namak, I'm going to come back to you, and I think uniquely, you're both working in different educational surroundings. Kendra in the U.S., Namaka, you in South Africa. How do you see the how are you going to answer that challenge? Obviously, having a universal educational platform is an amazing idea, but it brings its challenges because the educational standards, the curriculum standards, the requirements are different from one country to another. So how do you envision this kind of unfolding to be a real global solution?
That's a good one, Aya. And I think that at the core of what we do is the community.
Hmm.
We don't want it to be just a series of standards and objectives. We want to find ways to leverage the community that the students find themselves to build
Okay.
out interdisciplinary learning experiences that students can engage in and meet these curriculum standards. And so that definitely creates administrative challenges because that means that, I can't pick up what we've built for Vermont and use it here in Johannesburg. But I think the underlying principles remain the same. So while we could have students visit the local library, like Kendra said, here in Johannesburg, we could have them go to the Apartheid Museum and have conversations that really combine history, that combine, ethnical studies, and bring in, persuasive writing. So there's a lot. The idea is to say, how can we make these learning objectives relevant to each student's
I,
context?
I
And,
really
and,
love
and
that example, by the way.
yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah. And so that would mean that it's not a one size fit all. We recognize that that definitely affects the speed at which we can scale because obviously there has to be things that are specific to regions.
Right.
But we would want to start small. We have we are very ambitious. Our vision is to
I
really
can't
be able
tell. No, I'm kidding.
but we also understand that, as ambitious as we are, as much as we understand the scope of impact possible for this project, we want to really start small and focus on Vermont, for instance. Our idea, we're working on a better site, but the plan is to say, let's build this out and see how it works, understand the challenges, tweak as needed, and then gradually grow out without losing sight, obviously, of what we want.
I, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with a new project and getting it off the ground. Who's your who do you see as your target audience? Is this more is for a family that's doing more of a homeschool solution or learning independently? Is this something that you envision being brought into schools to provide additional or supplemental content? Where do you see this going, like when it's all built up?
It's an excellent, excellent question, one that we continue to grapple with. And our target audience are really um, homeschool families would be attracted to it, but our audience that we're marketing to are distressed communities
Uh-huh.
where there's declining enrollment and deterioration of the quality of education available. When you look at the housing market in those communities, there are families who need school but don't have access to the top-notch education that mobile learning will offer. And then we will market to those. Also to families who are in a position where they have to move. And what happens when your home's flooded and you're in North Carolina and you've got a month of, like, the way it works in the US is your primary address dictates which district you're going to school
Absolutely.
to.
Yeah.
And that's changing. And so we're looking to be the solution to bring the consistency to a child's academic and social and emotional development, because those gaps, as we've seen with COVID, have presented huge challenges from my view at the school that I'm at, in who has the readiness to read and write. And so by making to answer the question, it's really the distressed rural community,
Uh-huh. That's
where families need access to a consistent quality education.
Wow. Such an amazing idea and so many places to go with it, which I think is so exciting. So Namaka and Kendra, what are the next steps? Where are you currently holding on this project, and where are you going to be headed in the next walk us through like the short term, maybe over the next few months, and hopefully the next few years as well.
Absolutely. I think for us, our immediate short-term next step is to build out the dashboard and have a demo for our product. I think that's what Kendra and I are focusing on now.
Hmm.
And almost running parallel with that is obviously funding, because we understand
Sure.
that the work we are doing requires to be able to build out the initial product. We do require some funding. So Kendra and I are working on those two things, building out the dashboard, getting the funding we need for it. We've got a technical partner that is working with us on the tech side of things, because we will be leveraging technology to make this happen. But I would say those will be our next the two things we'd like to take care of. Kendra?
Spot on. I mean, we are also laser focused on the funding so that we can devote more time. But this is our side hustle without revenue, and so that is a key piece, is securing the seed money to move from pre-seed into. I mean, we're a registered LLC, we have a domain name and we have emails, but now we need to get the funding to pay ourselves to be able to do the market analysis, the product demo, and the selling of that dashboard.
Well, I can tell you as somebody who started an educational project, also like you guys are doing from the ground up, it's an exciting and nerve-wracking time, I know, but this idea is sounds like an amazing project, and it sounds like a platform that has the potential to help so many students and so many communities, and that's to me what's so exciting. I remember over the years I've worked with different groups of students in schools who have, like you said, Kendra, been ravaged by flooding or tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever it is. I mean, we have on our staff, we have two teachers who were just caught directly in the middle of the recent hurricane in Florida. And to hear what's going on down there right now, I'm just thinking mobile learning could be an amazing solution for those types of situations. And unfortunately, worldwide, I think always experiencing something in that space. So it sounds like a great project, and I'm really looking forward. I hope Namaka and Kendra, we have a deal that you guys will be back on this podcast when that demo is ready, and because we really want to see where this goes, and it's quite exciting. Um, for those people who might be interested in either investing or learning more about what you're doing, or seeing a little bit of what's going on, what's the best way for people to find out more information about mobile learning?
I would say to contact us directly. I
Okay.
will put I know we've doggled between my personal Gmail and Compass School, and now I'm adding a third email. But mobilelearningllc.com is the best way. And then I'll give my phone number, my cell phone. And we do
Yeah,
not.
we'll get that information, folks, for those people watching. We'll put that up on the screen so you can see it. But and it really, this is I think this is really the special part about so many of these amazing new educational projects. And I can tell you personally, I've had the privilege of hearing about some amazing new initiatives that are getting off the ground. And I think that with the tools that we have available and the 21st century technology space and the ever-growing capabilities, I think you would both agree that what you're proposing, if we had thought about it 5 or 10 years ago, would have just been a pipe dream. But now it's actually something that is so close to coming into reality, and that is so exciting. So
Absolutely.
I want to
Yeah.
wish you both really the best of luck, and keep doing what you're doing. I don't know when you both sleep. I won't ask that question. But I really I hope that you keep us posted on your successes and your progress, because wow, I think there's so many places where mobile learning could go, and it's really exciting. So Namaka
Thank
and
you.
Kendra, I want to wish you the best of luck and give you a big thank you for being my guests today. It was great talking. Like I said at the beginning, I think we could probably keep talking for like 7, 8, 9 hours. But I know it's a weekend, so I won't keep you too long. But I really do appreciate you being with us today. And again, best of luck in this development of mobile learning and in your day jobs too, running your various educational projects. There's a lot going on, but that's I think Kendra, you said something earlier, and Namaka, you also talked about how you sounds like you both kind of got into education almost as an afterthought, or almost as an accident, and I can tell you that was for me also. And I think that to have two educators who are really in this because of your love for your students and your love for the idea of being able to provide students with an education, I think will be the main reason you're both successful. So thank you very much. Folks, thank you for joining us today. This is Aryeh Eisenberg. If you'd like to get more information on our podcast or on Edu-Together services, please visit us at www.edutogether.org, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.